Have you ever wondered how life on Earth began? Did it all start with a divine spark, or did we evolve over millions of years? This question has sparked one of the greatest debates in human history, pitting the theory of creationism against the theory of evolution. On one side, we have creationism, the belief that a divine being created the universe and everything in it. It's a theory that's been passed down through generations, anchored in faith and tradition. On the other side, there's evolution, the scientific theory that life as we know it has evolved gradually over billions of years. This theory is backed by a wealth of scientific evidence, from the fossil record to genetic studies. These two theories, each with its own set of supporters and critics, have been the subject of intense debate and discussion. But what's the truth? Today, we'll delve into these two fascinating theories and present the main arguments of both sides. First, let's explore creationism, the belief that all life was created by a divine entity. Delving into the realm of creationism, we encounter a belief system that asserts a divine entity, a supreme being, is the architect of all life. This belief is often intertwined with a literal interpretation of sacred scriptures, where the creation stories hold the blueprint for our existence. Central to creationism is the notion that the universe is not a product of random events or processes, but rather a carefully designed masterpiece. The sun, the moon, the stars, the mountains, the rivers, the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea, all are seen as deliberate creations of a divine craftsman. Creationism argues that the complexity of life and the universe cannot be a mere accident. The intricate details in every living organism, the balance in ecosystems, the precision in the laws of physics, all these suggest a grand design, a divine blueprint. This argument is often referred to as the argument from design or teleological argument. Creationists also point to the moral and ethical laws that govern human behavior as evidence of a divine hand. They argue that these universal values could not have spontaneously arisen, but must have been implanted in us by a higher power. But it's not just about the big picture. Creationism also offers a personal perspective. It proposes that each of us is not just a random collection of cells, but a purposefully designed individual, imbued with a soul and a purpose. Yet, as persuasive as these arguments may seem, creationism faces its share of skepticism and criticism. Many challenge the literal interpretation of sacred texts, arguing for a more metaphorical understanding. Others question the lack of empirical evidence supporting creationist claims. The biggest challenge to creationism, however, comes from the scientific community. Scientists argue that the complexity and diversity of life can be explained through natural processes such as evolution and natural selection, without the need for a divine designer. But creationism faces criticism, especially from the scientific community. Let's see why. Now turn the pages to evolution, the theory that life evolved over billions of years through natural selection. Imagine a world teeming with diverse life forms, from the tiniest microorganisms to the largest whales, from the simplest plants to the most complex mammals. This rich tapestry of life didn't just pop into existence overnight. It's the result of an incredibly long and intricate process called evolution. At its core, evolution is about change over time. It's the idea that all life on Earth shares a common ancestor and that, over billions of years, life forms have changed and diversified. This process is driven by two main mechanisms: natural selection and genetic mutation. Natural selection is often described as survival of the fittest. It's the process by which traits that enhance survival and reproduction become more common in successive generations of a population. Imagine a group of rabbits living in a cold, snowy environment. Those with thicker, whiter fur are more likely to survive the harsh winters and pass on their genes to the next generation. Over time, the population becomes dominated by white, fluffy rabbits. Genetic mutation, on the other hand, is the source of new genetic variation. Mutations can occur randomly in an organism's DNA, leading to new traits. Some of these traits might be advantageous, some might be detrimental, and some might have no effect at all. But if a mutation gives an organism an edge, that organism is more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on the beneficial mutation to its offspring. The evidence for evolution is compelling. Fossil records reveal a history of life that stretches back billions of years, showing a clear progression of life forms. Genetic evidence further supports this, showing that all life is interconnected and has evolved from a common ancestor. Yet, like creationism, evolution also has its critics. Let's delve into some of the controversies. The debate between creationism and evolution is not just about science and religion, it's about how we view our world and our place in it. This ongoing debate is as fascinating as it is complex. On one side we have creationism, which posits that life, the earth, and the universe are the creation of a supernatural being. On the other side, we have evolution, which argues that life evolved over billions of years through natural processes. The main points of contention revolve around the origins of life and the universe. Creationists typically argue that life is too complex to have evolved randomly, pointing to the intricate design of organisms as evidence of a divine architect. They believe in the literal interpretation of religious texts, which describe the world as being created in a matter of days. Evolutionists, however, counter this by pointing to the vast amount of scientific evidence supporting their theory. Fossils, genetic similarities between species, and the geographic distribution of organisms all serve as pieces in the puzzle of life's history. They argue that natural selection and genetic mutation are sufficient to explain the complexity and diversity of life on Earth. But it's important to remember that both theories have their strengths and weaknesses. Creationism, for instance, offers a sense of purpose and order, but struggles to reconcile with much of modern science. Evolution, while supported by a wealth of scientific evidence, can seem cold and impersonal, leaving little room for the divine. It's also worth noting that many people find a middle ground, accepting the scientific evidence for evolution while maintaining their belief in a higher power. This perspective sees no conflict between science and faith, viewing evolution as the mechanism through which the divine operates. The debate between creationism and evolution is about more than just opposing viewpoints. It's a conversation about our origins, our purpose, and our place in the universe. It's clear that the debate is complex, with no easy answers. But what do you think? After hearing the main points of both theories, what do you think? Was life divinely created, or did it evolve over time? We've ventured through the realms of creationism and evolution, two theories that have stirred the pot of human curiosity for centuries. They've sparked debates, ignited passions, and challenged our understanding of life itself. But amidst the volley of perspectives, there's one voice we haven't heard yet: yours. This is your moment to step into the arena of thought and share your views. Be it a firm belief in a divine blueprint, a staunch advocate for evolution, or perhaps somewhere in between, your perspective matters. This isn't about winning an argument or proving a point. It is about fostering a community where ideas are shared, perspectives broadened, and understanding deepened. This is a call to open dialogue, a space where we can explore these complex issues together. It's not about reaching a universally accepted conclusion, but about understanding the diverse thoughts and beliefs that make up our human tapestry. It's about learning to appreciate the beauty of differing viewpoints, about realizing that our beliefs can coexist, even when they seem to be at odds. Respectful discussion is the cornerstone of our quest for knowledge. We can agree, disagree, or agree to disagree, but let's do so with open minds and respectful hearts. Let's remember that we're all here to learn, to grow, and to understand more about this amazing world we inhabit. So let's hear it. What are your thoughts on the divine blueprint versus the journey of life? How do you reconcile these theories with your understanding of the world? How do they shape your view of life, the universe, and everything in between? So, what's your take on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below.